Hi, welcome. Oh, Greg says, hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hello, Greg. You have the #1 gifter badge. Thank you. And thank you for the heart me. Mary, thank you for the heart me. Okay, you guys. Here's what we're going to do today. And here's why we're here on a special Sunday. After 2 years of streaming, I have written down for you guys, and it's right here, the story of my life. I know that I can be a little bit of a curiosity sometimes, and you guys know a lot about me, but not how we got to where we are today. So I thought it's about time that I tell you. And the reason we're doing it today is because on YouTube, we're back. You guys, is that better? That's better? Welcome back. The reason we're doing it today is because when we started streaming on YouTube, I gave folks a goal. Oh, thank you, my love. He's doing a little production improvement. Could you do them too? Only just in case, just because you're here. High quality, we want this to be. Welcome, you guys. When we started streaming on YouTube, we told folks when we hit 10,000 followers, we would do this story. And it was just like a little incentive, but also it gave me a milestone and a reason for us to do this because I kind of feel like it's one of those things that's just hard to know the right time. So I thought, because it's me and because I have to gamify everything, here's what we're going to do, you guys. Now, TT, my comment section for my storytelling of this is going to be sub only, my friends, but anyone can watch and anyone can play. And I have a game for us all to play. That game is, can you answer all of the questions from my story? I've written my life story truly as a story, and I have questions for each chapter. There are 6 chapters, and it shouldn't take us that long to do. And you guys, if you can answer all of these questions by the end, you get big kudos. And if you want to screenshot the questions so you can hold on to them while you're watching, I just now posted them on our Instagram stories, so you can go and get them. I want to give you guys a second, and then at the end, we're going to go through all of the questions and see if you can answer correctly. Any questions so far? Hi, Jess. Will this be recorded? Yes. We're on YouTube right now, and at the end of this live, it's going to automatically upload. Also, YouTube, your comments are set sub only, but anybody can watch there, right? And sub like the free kind. Like you just have to hit follow on my account, and then anybody can comment there. Is this a sub only chat? Not yet, Caitlin. I'm giving everybody the how-to and what's happening today. I wasn't expecting a quiz. Well, you know what, you guys? I thought when I read through this, it's really fun to tell a story. But when I'm planning an event like this, I thought to myself, I could think about what would be fun to you, or I could think about what would be fun to me. You know what I mean? Because I bet that would be fun for you guys too. And I thought a little pop quiz might be fun. We're also taking a lot of information today. We're horizontal, and YouTube is horizontal. You guys, what do you think? Sub only now. You guys, is that okay? It's free for you guys. You just have to hit the follow button. It's like just trivia. You guys, I thought it would be so fun. Oh, also, 6 chapters. So we have a game for you guys to do. And at the end of each chapter, you guys, I have some fun trinkets or letters, or maybe perhaps we're going to act out a little something for you. There's a little interactive something to go at the end of every single chapter also. Just loves a good game. I know. Different but cool. I usually watch through it. What do you think, Joanne? First live I've seen at home. Welcome. Okay, you guys, did any of you go get the questions? What do you think? I will watch so close. To Christmas is tight. Can't sub. Sorry, Joanne. That's okay. Have fun playing the game, Joanne. Well, it's sub only. I thought it doesn't matter if we chat. We can all be doing something together. Hi. Okay. Question screenshotted. You guys, I just want to give you a minute to get your questions. So you guys, I'm going to give folks, right now it's, I don't have a phone anymore. Christopher Poole, what time is it?
12:13.
12:13. I'm going to go at 12:15. We're going to start reading chapter 1. Woo! I don't have Instagram. Lewis, I don't have a solve for you at this time. Ooh, Facebook. It'll be on my Facebook stories. If not, I don't have a solve for you, Lewis, but it's okay because at the end, I'll read the question and then we'll just see if you can get it. And if not, I'm going to tell you the answer too. Can you show the questions again, please? Emily, they're on Instagram or Facebook stories. I'm giving you guys until 12:15 to go and grab the screenshots real quick. And if not, I'll pop quiz you at the end. Welcome, you guys. What's your Facebook? It's the Caffeination Station. Welcome, welcome. The epic shirt, Jessaru. Casey, did you know? Have I told you? It's glow in the dark. Ooh, I have Facebook. Let me go screenshot. Mila, do it. You guys, if you don't have Facebook or Instagram, don't worry about it. Because at the end, I'll read the question and I'll give everybody a second to answer before I reveal it. So we'll still go through it. It'll be fun. I'm really excited. Holly, welcome. Hi, how are you all doing today? I don't know if you're seeing this, but I hope so. Brenda, we're still open chat. Brenda, I'm going to turn you sub only when I start reading my story. Horizontal feels so different. This is so cool. Does it feel so good? Welcome to my house. Woo! Did you guys have a fun day yesterday? Allison, I had a really nice day. Did you have a nice day? What was yesterday? Saturday? I don't even know what I did yesterday. We went to town. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn us sub only. Ooh, you guys, I'll see you later. Thank you for being here for the story of my life. I can't wait to read it to you. Okay, here we go. Comments. Let's switch this up. Oh my gosh, I can comment. I didn't know that. Oops, but now I don't know how to get out of it. So I'm just going to say, hi, and then send that. Here we go. Sub only live chat. There we go, you guys. Oh my gosh. Are you guys okay? Did that scare you, Harold? Harold, did you get scared? Is somebody out of the bedroom, baby? Oh, it's just Harold and Pee-Pee. Sorry, you guys. We have cats. Okay, you guys. Are you ready? My love, I'm ready for the music to go off if you're not busy with cats. Starting with chapter 1. Oh, Harold, behave. I know. Starting with chapter 1. Now, you guys, this is the area for chapter 1, if you can see it here. And at the very end, we're going to look at it. But before we do, I just wanted to tell you guys, if you've heard me talking about the rat. Oh, if you don't want to see a rat on my shoulder, look away just for a second, you guys. If you've heard me telling the story about when I was a kid, I had the friends that had the rat, and it would be on my shoulder, and it would scratch up my shoulder, so my mom would make me wear my turtleneck. I found a picture, and I'm going to show you, okay? Hide your eyes if you don't like rats. In 3, 2, 1, look. Look. Is that not adorable? Anyways, I just wanted to show you that really quick. Now, chapter 1. And I wrote this as a story, and it's going to switch perspective from first to third, etc., because I'm not a professional writer, but I hope that you guys enjoy it, and I really liked writing it for you. Also, I will take questions at the very end, my friends. It's going to be presentation style, but listen all the way through, and then at the end, I'll take questions from everybody. And welcome to the Krubies, those of you who are joining us. How did we get to where we are today? A small town coffee shop that survived a recession, a pandemic, unprecedented inflation, and started a top performing TikTok live show with thousands of watchers, 6+ hours every day. That story is a good one. I, the narrator, am uniquely biased, as this is my story, so I'll let you be the judge. Buckle up, folks, but because before we get to the end, we must first go back. Chapter 1, the beginning. Jerica. Also, I changed people's names and places' names, not because I had to, and you're going to recognize a lot of people, mostly because it was fun, and once I started, I just kept going, but also I think it's all right. Chapter 1, the beginning. Jerica was born in 1989. Her parents were Deuce and Murray Whitmore. As a babe, she was of average size and average length. She had what was described to her as generally a pleasant disposition. Jerica spent the first 14-ish years of her life in what is known colloquially as a cult. I know, that sounds juicy. And I suppose it is. The Move, as the Wikipedia states, also known as the Move of the Spirit or Move of God, is the unofficial name of a non-denominational, charismatic Christian group that was started in the 1960s by Sam Fife, a former Baptist preacher, and I copied that from Google. If you were to Google The Move, you would find plenty of information about the details of this religious group. You might find a documentary, and I'm going to show you guys some pictures too at the end of the chapter. You might find a documentary that highlights the darkest parts of this style of life. You might find information about how Sam Fife was perhaps motivated financially to begin the exodus that would eventually bring Jerica's family north to British Columbia and Canada. But you would not find Jerica's recounting. And so, in my own words, I present to you my cult experience, a recounting. The move is not something that came into my life at a point that I remember. It is a way of life that always was to me. A simple fact as natural as eating, and as mundane as walking. Wearing dresses and calling all adults in my life sister or brother was a sign of respect and deference to the authority figures in my life. Gathering weekly with other people for a 3-hour church service and a shared meal was simple routine. But how did we get there? In our family, my grandparents were the first adapters to the move, with both my maternal and my paternal grandparents hailing from Pennsylvania. That means my mom's parents and my dad's parents. They discovered the teachings of Sam Fife in the late 1960s, or just in the 1960s, I suppose, at a time when unrest was prevalent and fear was rampant in the U.S. With wars beginning and assassinations happening, there was a real hunger for community and also for change. Here enters The Move, a religious group that promises community and love. It offers adventure and change and a safe haven for families in a time of draft. It offers adventure and pilgrimage, and all it requires of you is that you sell your soul. Just kidding. Sort of. My grandparents came to Canada, but from the same state, but without having known each other prior to their northern pilgrimage. It was there that Deuce and Murray, my parents, both 10-ish at the time, met at a farm run by The Move. It was a community that we will call of large stature rushing water source farm. Or OLSRWSF farm, which was located in northern BC in the Canadian wilderness. It had no running water and no electricity. It had no bridge to cross the river, and in the summer months, they had to float by raft. In the winter, vehicles would drive across the ice, but summer we would have to park on the far side and utilize a boat and pulley system to gain access to its rustic gates. Through the years between 1960-something, when they arrived in Canada, and 1989, when I was born, Deuce and Murray had their own epic adventures, but they eventually found themselves at another Move community we will call the Sheepkeeper's Abode, or SKA for short. It is in this place, on October 3rd, 1989, that my story begins. SKA was plumb modern by our standards. It had running water, and it had electricity, and I spent all of the night... I know, you guys. And I spent all of the 90s living here with my family. This Move community had a restaurant and a motel, and this meant that I could decide to enter the workforce at the ripe old age of 11. I got my first job as a dishwasher with the intent of buying my first horse, a feat I accomplished by the age of 13. Dishwashing lasted a few years before I moved into other roles around the establishment. Weekends were spent listening to the rocking beats of John Bon Jovi in the headphones of my Discman and performing cleans and freshens on motel rooms. Or folding endless loads of warm sheets in the office with my mom. Weekday evenings were spent manning the grill for steak night. Early mornings were spent prepping lunches for our many resident crewmen or kneading dough for our homemade bread. It is important to say, and I know that I say this a lot, but I just want to make sure that I'm really clear, and I put it here too to make sure, that even looking back at my life, it doesn't mean that I encourage or condone other people doing things that I did. But this was like 20, 30 years ago, and holy guacamole, you guys, my life was pretty exciting. It was pretty great. I really did enjoy it. In the early 2000s, with my 3 siblings having grown up and left home, Deuce and Murray decided it was time to sell their home and for us to make our own pilgrimage of sorts. We packed our life and we drove south to Dinuba, California, where we volunteered time to another Christian organization. I was 15 at the time. This place was a wonderful place to go if you wanted your time to benefit others, their core directive being to dry fruit and ship it around the world to those in need. But it was also a great place to meet boys. As we entered this new phase of life, I found myself exiting my terrible teens. Shortly before our move to Dinuba, I had found myself staying out all night at parties and using my sister's ID to sneak into bars. I had a conversation with myself where I said, Jerica, it's time for you to smarten up. You aren't 14 anymore. We're 15 now, and we need to act like it, damn it. As I saw it, this move to California was an opportunity for a fresh start for me. And that's when I met Chris. He was charismatic, he was kind, he was a bad boy. He was exciting, and he talked to me about a different world, the one that he came from. He was the embodiment of excitement and adventure that I didn't know that I wanted. And he liked to go antiquing with me, something that we still enjoy doing to this day. Chris and I parted ways after a short 6 months together, him going back to his home in Oregon and me going back to Canada with my parents. And this is where our love story and part 2 begins. And you guys, I'm going to pause the story. That is chapter 1, which I think is the longest one. So if you stuck through that, thank you so much. And I'm going to show you a couple of things from chapter 1. If you were curious to know what it looked like when I was young, because I can appreciate that the idea of having a community experience growing up is a wild one. And it really is in a lot of ways, but also it's really good in a lot of ways. And it just was in a lot of ways. And so I want to show you what it was. And first of all, this is Deuce and Murray, my parents. This is me, tiny little me. This is a dining room that we used to serve our steak dinners in. This is church. I don't think I'm in this photo. Otherwise, I would point myself out to you. But I thought that it was a good view while giving everyone some anonymity. And then you guys, this is the very first picture of Chris and I. And I really appreciate going back and having the opportunity to tell you guys this story because things like this, I forgot this shirt existed, you guys, until I looked at this picture. And unless you look back, it's hard to remember sometimes. I think this is the first picture of us. I hope that you guys are enjoying this so far. I'm going to ask for a thumbs up in just a second. But I also want to show you guys, this was one of the first pictures of Chris and I when we were dating, one of the visits we had with each other, because we separated after 6 months, but then we were dating back and forth. And this is from our engagement shoot. And also from chapter 1, you guys. Hold on. Oh, no, I'm too short. Hold on. Also from chapter 1, we have some Le Bebe photos and my birth announcement right there from 1989. Okay, you guys, so far, what do you think before we move to chapter 2? Are you enjoying this so far? Wait, was Chris part of the church too? Casey, hold on to your questions because at the very end, I'm going to go back if they haven't been answered, and we're going to answer them. Well, I can't promise to answer them, but I'll probably answer them, unless I respectfully make a boundary. But I don't plan on doing too many of those. Yes? Okay. Yes. All right, you guys, thank you for going with me to chapter 1. Now we're on to chapter 2, which is the one we get married in, and it's going to be when we open this basket. Okay, here we go. Chapter 2, Marriage and the Deportation Era. We dated long distance for 1-ish years. Also, you guys, I was very vague on timelines here because they're hard to remember sometimes, but they were mostly right. You're just going to see 1-ish years a lot. I rounded. We dated long distance for 1-ish years. This seems like a moment when recounting it, but I remember it feeling like a millennia. Funny how memory changes the things you think of as fact. During this time, we kept matching journals. We would each write in one for a matter of time, and then we would mail them to each other to read and fill for a period of time, and then we would mail them back, etc., etc. During this time, I finished my high school, and Chris went back to what was keeping him mostly busy at that time. Remember when I say this, that I have the most respect for my husband, and he is the person I love the most on this planet. To what was keeping him mostly busy at that time, recovering from being a teenage delinquent. Growing up is hard, and some learn lessons harsher than others, but Chris's story is his own, and today we are here for mine. The decision to get married was matter of fact. We prepped together for the conversation Chris was going to need to have with Daddy Deuce. We went to pick out the engagement ring together. To this day, we do most things together. It's just always made sense. Our wedding was on a crisp autumn day in September. We said our vows on a bank overlooking a river, and I recall the sounds of a riverboat driving by as we reached the crescendo of pronounce you husband and wife. Some will say true love is the reason that we were so committed. Some will say religious programming is the driver for the decisions that we made up until that point. And for what it counts, my friends, my opinion is that the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But after 17 years of marriage, I still wouldn't trade him today, and I think that today is what counts. Do you agree? Sorry, that was you, big guy. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Yes, he agrees.
I do agree.
He wasn't thinking about it. He just didn't know I was talking to him.
I'm sorry, I'm listening.
I know, I love you, thank you. Our wedding was in Oregon, near Chris's home, and near the home that we would then share. This would be my first time living outside of my parents' house, and boy, did it go terrible. Chris and I lived in Oregon for the first year that we were married. While many wonderful things would happen during this time, one of the biggest being my discovery of service and my passion for perfecting it, when I look back on the memories of that year, they are mostly shaded by distress. The distress of feeling isolated in a new place, the distress of having a roommate I felt like I had to cook for and clean for when I wasn't even that great at doing those things for myself. It was all very overwhelming. But this is also the beautiful time that I discovered my love for customer service. The month after we were married, I walked myself across the street from our apartment to a department store we will call Ford's Thumb. Ford's Thumb called me to a group interview where they were hiring for a seasonal holiday position. I sat down for an interview with multiple managers where I was asked to sell them a pen sitting in the center of the table. I can't recall what I said, but it must have been effective because a short amount of time later, I got a call on my Juke MP3 cell phone, not a sponsor, saying that 2 managers wanted to offer me positions. The manager of handbags and also the manager of the BP department, to which I replied, "Great, thank you. But what is BP?" And if you don't know, BP is a juniors department. It was on the sales floor that I started my service journey. Ford's Thumb was a commission-based sales environment. It prioritized customer service, and we had the ability to build our businesses by utilizing a customer tracking system where we could store relevant information and facts about our customers to refer back to. We would send them handwritten thank you notes, hold appointments for personal and private shopping experiences, where we would set fitting rooms for our customers with full outfits, shoes, and accessories included. We were personal shoppers, creating a personalized shopping experience for no extra charge. And it worked. I saw the power of connection, how connecting with customers on a personal level could improve my service and my paycheck, while leaving me feeling fulfilled at the end of the day. Helping people find the garments that made them feel powerful was a superpower, based on human connection, and I was just getting started. Ford's Thumb was in a time of aggressive growth, and they believe strongly in promoting from within and teaching their leadership teams to teach. I went through leadership programming, training, and was quickly promoted to assistant in the kidswear department. This is when I discovered my love for child-size premium denim. Chris and I had now been married almost a year, and I am 18 years old, just in case you're wondering. Oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy, you guys. I'm so sorry. I keep thinking that it will casually go away. One tiny itch. Okay, we're good. The year is now 2008, and in a moment of personal and emotional crisis, we decide it's time to move to Canada and try living near my family. We say goodbye to Ford's Thumb for now, but don't worry, we'll be back. Daddy Deuce comes to help us move. By this time, Chris and I have our first child, albeit not of our own loins, a 2-pound chihuahua named Titan. We have a myriad of bad habits. Probably the most prominent to everyone around us was yelling at each other, and a slight home sickness caused trauma. But most of all, we had a thirst for change, which is often the catalyst for many of the exciting growth-filled times in our life. Upon arriving home to Canada, we move in with my middle sister. We'll call her Birdie. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Birdie. And Birdie's husband, Blaine. The 4 of us have a generally good time for 2 years, until Chris, once again being haunted by his youth delinquencies, is deported from Canada. I know it sounds very dramatic, and at the time, we took away an amount of trauma for sure. However, it was all very civilized, with paperwork and meetings and driving ourselves across the border. This deportation would end up taking us years and thousands of dollars to rectify. But before we did that, we had to move back to Oregon. Now, 2 years older and wiser, I was now 19 years old, turning 20. I was full of vim and vinegar, ready to take over the world. And I did take over my world, which leads us to our next chapter, Chapter 3, the rise and fall of a service star. But you guys, before we do that, we have to talk about Chapter 2. And I wanted to show you guys a few things from that time that would help you to have a little picture of how we felt. And one of the things that we talked about at the beginning of that chapter are the journals that Chris and I mailed back and forth. And I have them right here, and I thought that it might be nice for us each to pick an entry that we wrote to each other and to read it in our own words to you. So you could kind of get an idea of what that looked like. I hope that that's fun for you. My big guy, can I call upon you now? Chris said that this made him uncomfortable, but he was really willing to do it for you guys, and I'm so glad. You guys, we're not leaving. This is the story of our life, and hopefully it brings us closer, not further away. That's what I hope. Don't be afraid. Hopefully this is just fun. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to pick. So, this one, I want to see. So we have these ripped out because they were the days we were mailing, and I didn't want to use those, but I thought we could just both read like our starting entries. Just see, are you the one who started this book? Yes, this is your book. Here you go. This is my book. Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
Sure, I could start.
You want to start? And actually, you could just pick one. It doesn't really matter. And I'll just pick one. Ooh, cursive. I went through a nice handwriting stage.
Okay, here's one from October 8th, right after your birthday. Pardon me, in 2006. Very long time ago. Listening to Hoobastank at the time.
What's up? From the Heart by Hoobastank, to be specific.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I really don't like Working Babe because I really feel like it takes away from my time with you. But at the same time, I'm glad because I've made new friends and it's a step in the direction of seeing you again. I love you and I miss you more and more as the days go by. Number 10, you are my best friend. I don't know what we're counting down.
Oh, you must have been counting down the
we're
reasons
counting
you
down
love me.
something. Okay, hit me with yours.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, this is blown out. Dang. You guys are welcome.
Sorry, you guys.
Dude, just
Okay.
gotta pick one. Maybe
Okay.
not the longest one.
Okay.
Okay.
I know that sometimes I say things like that. And I can't read that out loud. Okay. It would be very cool if you could get one. I mean, really, it's just very boring.
Not more boring than this.
I know, not more boring than that. Okay. I finished Frankenstein today. Here we go. My puppies.
When was it from?
Oh. November 12th and the 13th, 2006. I apologize. That was very boring. I also didn't read all the way through this. I missed you yesterday, so I will put it all into days. We had Michelle's birthday tonight. Her belly is starting to show. It's very exciting. Time is going faster than I thought it would, but still not fast enough for me. Our anniversary is February 3rd. Did you know our anniversary is February? Did you know our anniversary? I didn't know our anniversary was February 3rd.
Don't forget.
How did I decide that?
Is that the mop bucket day?
Is that the mop bucket day was February? You guys, you
might
just
be.
discovered something with us. Oh my Alex, Michelle is here. Okay, you guys, we all just learned something together. My puppy is sitting here on my bed with me at the moment. He really is very cute, but I don't know if I bonded with him on a level that I should have. That was
Oh, Pismo or
no,
Jinx?
Jinx. That was Jinx, and I didn't. He was my mom's dog. Since the day that I got him, but I don't have the same connection with Jinx. I am glad that he has clicked with my mother. Oh, no, I'm talking about Pismo. And that I did have a connection with Jinx. I finished Frankenstein today, but I didn't get all of the writing, so I have to finish that tomorrow. It was a very sad book. It struck me as more of a tragedy than a gothic novel. I felt sorry for everyone in that story, but mostly for the monster. He was treated so badly. Oh, this is so Jessica. I think that I would have done something similar had I been in his position. I have to go back to work tomorrow, which makes me sad. I know that you think I should quit and just do school, but that is not me. I don't want to feel like I am quitting because I don't want to work there, and I'm not using school as an excuse. And I do like having my own money. It makes me feel like I have accomplished something. I love you. 39 days now.
Wonderful.
That was actually hard to read in my cursive.
Wonderful.
Okay, yay!
Cool.
I'm so sorry that took so long. Okay, you guys, not only do I have our journals, which show you a little snippet into our minds, but also a snippet from our wedding day, which was on September 22nd, 2007. And also, I thought that I would read to you our wedding vows whilst you were looking at our wedding rings, which you guys don't see very often. Chris did this for me for an anniversary gift one year. I, Christopher Paul Davenport, take you, Jessica Amber Whitmer, to be my wife, to share the good times and the hard times side by side. I give you my hand and my heart forevermore. This is my vow to you before God, our families and friends as witnesses. Oh, that sentence is not written correctly. This is my vow to you before God, our families, and our friends as witnesses. Just as a circle has no end, my love for you is eternal. And you guys, we have that tattooed on our body somewhere. Do you know where? Pop quiz. Ha 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 ha. My love, can I have your finger for a second? Does your ring fit on it? Maggie, thank you for the heart me.
No, I doubt it, but let's see.
Okay, you guys, check in. End of chapter 2. The last thing I wanted to show you was a picture of, here you go. Nothing a little spit can't fix.
tool.
Your ribs and his forearm. Tiffany, you know. I'm so sorry. That's okay. You guys get the hint. And then also, this is Titan, the 2-pound chihuahua that we were talking about. Oh. Okay, you guys, end of chapter 2. We are moving on to chapter 3. Are you having fun so far? Thumbs up if you are. Thumbs down if you're not. No hard feelings either way. What do you guys think? Okay, let me keep myself tidied. Chapter 2, we are done with you. And on to chapter 3. You guys are. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, moving on to chapter 3, the rise and fall of a service star. Immediately upon arrival back to Oregon, I called a contact and asked for a job. She and I had started sales together at Ford's Thumb, and while I left for a Canadian adventure, she had risen in the ranks and now led her own floor. She hired me on the spot, and I then had to undertake the scariest and most foreign activity in my life to date, driving on the freeway. This would be something that I grew to love. The quiet moments of my commute with just me and the road and my navy blue Toyota Corolla with the dent in the front fender from that one time I hit the car park pole. But that first time was pure terror. I spent the next few years focused on my career. I was interim manager of my first department within a year and moved stores/roles within my company somewhere to the tune of 10 times in 4 years. As the saying goes, those were the best of times, those were the worst of times. Now, you guys, I want to tell you all, I resubbed. Emily, welcome to the Krubies. I want to tell you all that we're going to talk about the loss of pregnancy in this story. And it's not going to get really detailed, but just in case that's triggering for you, it comes up 4 times in the story. And I just want to make sure that you know in case that's not something that you are ready to hear. But I also want to include it because it's part of the pivotal changes that happened as we grew up. It's about to happen, which is why I'm telling you guys now. Okay. During those same years, I'm doing great, aren't I? I'm doing great, you guys. I can feel you all saying it from here. Thank you. During those same years, I experienced personal loss in the form of miscarriages. 2 times, in fact. I suffered the intense highs and massive lows associated with that type of loss. That, all in combination with an immensely competitive and stressful work environment, wreaked havoc on our young protagonist's emotions. It was in another moment of emotional crisis that I called Daddy Deuce up and said, "Hey, do you want to start a coffee shop?" What you don't know is that up until this point, a lot of my family would come to visit Chris and I. It's funny how a little thing like deportation can really bring a family together. It was very common to see a small drive-through coffee shop in the areas that we were living in the States. And when Daddy Deuce would come to visit, he would say to himself and also out loud, "Why don't we have any of these drive-through coffee shops at home?" He then started researching and planning, scheming and dreaming of a world where he has part in the first drive-through coffee shop in northern BC. And he had been planning for a long time. So when I called him tearfully one day and I popped the question, he was ready with a quick, "When can we start?" I moved back to Canada the next month, and Chris stayed stateside while we started the long process of overcoming his deportations and getting him back to my motherland. Okay, that was a really short chapter, you guys. And what I have to show you for chapter 3 is my new hire catalog from Ford's Thumb. And you guys, if you caught on that maybe perhaps it was Nordstrom, you were indeed correct. And I have in here our book from our very first training within my handwriting, selling and service protocols that you guys see me use at the shop all the time and talk about. And I thought that when I opened it today, it was so cool to see those things being parroted, I guess, by myself more than a decade prior to me utilizing them in my own business. So Nordstrom used to tell us to treat it as if our own name was on the building. And one of the things that I have here that they taught us, 1, be real. Treat your store like it's your house. Start with, "Hello, I just wanted to make to you." 2, be the expert. Get them in a fitting room ASAP. Engage them immediately. 3, overcome the price point. We can't have sticker shock because you don't know what other people want to spend. And 4, be thankful. Be real and make it different. Stay in control of the situation. If they're picking through the clothes, you are doing them a disservice because you are the expert. I also have here highlighted, and you guys hear me do this all the time. In here, they showed us a clip from Pretty Woman, and they asked us to show an example of how they were being directive. And in Pretty Woman, they say, "What color will you not wear?" And you guys hear me say, "What flavors will you not drink?" all the time. And I just think that it's actually a really cool thing to see that way back then in my training, we were still using the same consistent verbiage, you guys. That's how you know it's good. or something. I don't know. That's more of that Kool-Aid. Anyways, you guys, that is the end of chapter 3. Are we still having fun? Are you enjoying it? Mila, thank you for the rose. Thank you guys so much. Oh, I love it. Okay, moving on to chapter 4, my friends. Here we go. Chapter 4, when it really started. You guys, get ready, because you're about to come into my story. Okay, here we go. Chapter 4, when it really started. The arrangement was that Daddy Deuce would build the shop and I would run it. Once the plan was established, it still took a couple of years to get the shop built. We set up shop in my sister Birdie's garage, and the entire coffee shop was built in a sea can, or a shipping container. During that time, I was the night manager of a converted movie theater that hosted live shows, things like tribute bands and comedians. Sometimes I was even a magician's assistant. Daddy Deuce did his day job, and then we would come together and work when we could. Well, mostly him, if I'm honest. Chris and I now found ourselves in a situation where we were long distance again, only we were married this time. You might think that this would make it easier to handle, but I think in fact that the opposite was true. At this point, we had a taste of what it was like to have a teammate in life. Chris calls it, quite poetically, I might add, being two halves of the same brain. You depend on each other so much you don't really notice the overlap of where one brain ends and the other brain begins. It is a great and terrible thing to love this fully, for it must mean ultimate heartache for someone, because one day you will lose that which you fully depend on. But thankfully, that's not part of our story yet. We entered a multi-year period that I honestly remember in a haze. We were building a coffee shop. Then, as of September 2014, I was running a coffee shop. We were flying international, or I was, every 6 weeks to visit my long-distance husband, and I also had another 2 miscarriages in that time. I decided to give myself a break from those, long enough to visit an OBGYN and to find out I have a gene that causes my blood to clot quickly, which means my body, upon alert of outside life forms, will cut off blood supply and starve said tiny creatures from its very life source. It was during this time, and when I learned that I decided I was okay with allowing a future where I settle in as an auntie with no kids. And I'm happy to report to you guys that I haven't regretted that conscious decision. The coffee shop almost failed that first year. Honestly, we have had many moments through the years when we thought we might not make it. Business was slow and growth was so gradual, it felt like we weren't moving at all. My attention was only partially focused on our success because I was also torn thinking about the personal success and trials that Chris and I were encountering personally living so far apart. But then November 2015 hits, the month that Chris is issued his permanent resident status in Canada, and the day my home moves to my home. Woo! If you catch my drift. Are you watching YouTube silently in the background? Oh my gosh, I must be doing a good job, you guys. You know when he's watching YouTube. Are you watching Call of Duty? Oh my gosh, I love that. When my home moves to... Listening. You are? Okay. But you're also listening? I trust you. After that, the growth was fast. We built and opened a second location by 2017 and had added 2 baristas to our team. We started to focus on social media within our company, and every teammate was required to contribute content full shifts per day, 5 to 6 days per week, and while we never thrived monetarily as a business, we did thrive in our community. We started to think about what the future would hold and how we could expand and grow. Then 2020 happened. The COVID-19 pandemic, and the world stood still. We were one of the first businesses in our area to decide to shut our doors to do what we now refer to as flatten the curve. On the day we decided to close, I remember feeling like it might be the end of the world, and that if it was, I wanted to know that I didn't spread the plague to my neighbors. Then we closed our doors for 3 months. In order to return, we took advantage of government loans. This was a program called SEBA that was designed to help businesses get back to normal. We now had a $60,000 loan. In the 3 years post the COVID-19 closure, we've taken an aggressive approach to business. We did. In the 3 years post the COVID-19 closure, we took an aggressive approach to business. We upped our team by 2 additional employees and added hours of operation. We grew massively as individuals and as leaders, but our business continued to suffer. We had failures and successes, and finally, in the winter of 2022, we decided it was time to invest in ourselves and our customers instead of in nurturing a team. I believe that in order to have a successful team, a leader must be prepared to invest time in developing them and holding them accountable to their success. But we thought to ourselves, what if instead we invest all of that energy into our own development? Un momento, por favor. Do not show for 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for requesting. I hope you're having a great day. We split responsibilities. In order to have a successful team, a leader must be prepared to invest time in developing them and holding them accountable to their success. But we thought to ourselves, what if instead we invest all of that energy into our own development? What would happen? The plan was as follows. 1, allow our team to naturally move on to other positions. As a coffee shop, we have a high turnover. So our employees would require patience, but we wouldn't have to take any action to remove our team. We just had to wait. 2, we would minimize unnecessary expenses. And 3, we would work towards running the shops alone. That's kind of the same as 1. Now, my friends, that is the end of chapter 4. And chapter 5 is the TikTok era. And what I have for you from chapter 4 is a journal entry from after we closed the shop and while we were in our 3-month closure. And I didn't remember that I wrote this or even that I did this during this time. And so I wanted to share that with you because I thought it was an interesting insight during that time. Day 28. Quarantine. Day 28. April 14th, 2020, for you guys that were wondering. I really kind of like it. The slow pace of life. The way daily routine becomes part of the memories of our muscles instead of a conscious path designed by the noodle. I teach now. Funny how the things we choose not to create can sometimes find a way into our lives anyways, like children. It's been good though. The new life in the house each day is a great motivator of productivity and self-care. You guys, when we were closed for 3 months, I took over the teaching of my nephews because they couldn't go to school, but my sister and my brother-in-law were considered, they were considered essential services, and so they continued to go back to work, but their kids couldn't go to school. So because we were all the same pod, I taught their kids here during that time. And until I read that today, I had forgotten that I even had done that. So that was actually very interesting to see. And now you guys, we're ready for the next chapter. And this is where you guys come in, the TikTok era. And this is our booming era. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're enjoying it. I really, really am enjoying sharing. Let's move on. We have 2 chapters to go. Chapter 5, the TikTok era. It was early 2023 when our last employee moved on to their next adventure. This was the moment that we had been preparing for. Now the scary stuff begins. We had to decide how many hours we could be open. This would have to be an amount of time that was sustainable with the additional responsibilities we would carry, like shopping, paperwork, etc. We would need to take over all social media responsibilities, and we would need to adapt to being structured for a team of 6, which was now a team of 2. We split responsibilities with Chris taking on operational sides of the business and me the service and social media side. The platforms we had been active on and whose posting schedules I had developed were Instagram and Facebook, but TikTok was a platform. Oh no, TT, you two don't listen to me, TT. But TT was a platform that was started by an employee named Sahara, and it was a foreign land to me. I got started learning my new home online, and it was then that a friend sent me a link to a live stream with a message that read, "You need to do this." The stream was a barista in Oregon, coincidentally in a town Chris and I had used to live in. She was talking about her day and making drinks for her customers. She was interacting with the people commenting on her screen and was turning on music that they suggested for her. Plain and simple, it looked real fun. I made a post that day that said something to the following. Do you want to come to work with me? Here's how we can do it. Hit that follow button, and when we hit 1,000 followers, I can bring you to work with me, and we can serve customers and have a great freaking time. That night, I watched as our following count went up 100 followers, and then 200 followers, and then 300 followers, and before I knew it, we were there. We had 1,000, and the next day, I was doing it. I was going live. I don't remember my first live now. Maybe because I was nervous, or maybe because by now, I've done hundreds of lives, but I remember there was a gal whose username was Kate. And she warned me to make sure that I hide customers' card numbers from my live when I tap them. And I'll always appreciate Kate and that reminder. After a few lives, it started to feel more natural. We were experiencing steady follower growth, and so too was the amount of daily watchers growing. Each live stream started to feel like an epic party. When we used to see a trickle of new followers, we were now seeing a flood. 2,000 new followers a day, 4,000, 6,000 new followers a day. Our streams were getting rooms of 11,000 plus viewers at one time. It was a wild freaking ride, you guys. It was a great time, and I was having a great time. So too were my customers and my viewers. But then I started to feel a little bit of a shift in the TT universe. The US government was on the attack. TikTok was poisoning the minds of our youth, and I saw a massive shift in viewership, not just of my show, but of other shows during this time as well. People were becoming fearful of what using this specific app could mean for them, and they distanced themselves from that space. Around about this time, I also decided to make the jump. I'm so sorry, we have chaos. Harold, don't knock over my Lego, Harold. It's all right, buddy. Round about this time, I decided to make the jump to monetize my channel. I did this for a couple of reasons. One, the larger my daily audience got, the more good we had, and the more bad also. Bad manifested itself in different ways. Unkind words about me or viewers in the comments, threats to my physical safety, comments on my physical appearance. All of this I was prepared for, but it did bring the overall vibe of the chat down. The action, though, that made me initiate a change was when someone online got upset that I talked to a customer for too long. They found my customer's personal account, and they found the personal account of a member of my online community, and they acted poorly in both of those spaces. The other reason that I decided to monetize was because it would mean I would have a monetary return for the time that I invested in my online community. In order to monetize my channel, I decided to take my show subscriber-only comments for a large portion of my live show. Does anyone remember those times? It feels like it was so long ago and so short ago at the same time. This would allow me to remain focused on my coffee shop window and building my business and relationships without being concerned about trouble brewing in the comments. It was efficient and effective at first. Little did I know that would be the beginning of the end of my first TikTok era. You guys, and I have to show you, as our examples of chapter 5, our TikTok era, some really fun things. And these are all things from you guys. I wanted to show you, and I've shown you before, that I keep every letter that's ever been sent to me and almost all of the envelopes that mail is sent to me in as well. But there's also a few, like I've got my pop art. Isn't that so amazing? From Peru. I want to say Claudia, but I can't remember. I've got this book that Tiffany made me from season 1. I've got this Spotify thingy. What are these called? That you can QR, you can screenshot it, and this will take you to our Station Nation, and Sean made this. You guys, I have so many things that are all around me all the time that you guys send, so I just want to say thank you so much. You have no idea of knowing after you send a piece of mail the impact that it has, but they really do surround me all the time when I'm at home. When you feel like it's out of sight, out of mind, perhaps, just know there are treasures from you guys everywhere. Oh, also, look at this. Look at this fly thing. Look at this fly thing. I'm not done. One of you guys made me this. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? Hold on. I'm not done. This is my hair. This is my hair that I cut off. I'm so sorry. I like to save things like that for projects. You just never know. You just never know when you're going to need a nice little chunk of hair to make a wand or something. Okay, these you guys sent me. I just like to put everything in places of honor, and then I can pull it out and just think of you guys. Thank you so much, by the way. Okay, now we're going to continue on, my friends, with our final chapter, which brings us up to the present mostly. Well, when I say present, it takes you up to when I started my show again in August or June, whatever month I came back. August, right? Okay, here we go. I put this page down too soon. Chapter 6, the end of an era. We received overwhelming support after monetizing our show. Hundreds of people hit the subscribe button the first day, and I found myself overwhelmed with emotion. The generosity of the people around me was truly beautiful. Around the same time, Chris and I decided to reassess our hours again. My online responsibilities were taking more and more time each day. The more folks subscribed, the more I felt compelled to give value added to them during my show. And with the coffee shop business growing, we were also encountering a situation of not being able to hold enough product. Oh, I have to verify I'm a human. Oh, it verified for me. Thank you, TT. And as the coffee shop business was growing, we were also encountering a situation of not being able to hold enough product, like ice and cold Red Bull, for a full shift. Specifically, Chris's shop encountered that problem. Then, as these things tend to do, a series of events took place. As our size grew, I realized that the amount of contact and interaction I was having with thousands of people every day, both online and behind the scenes, was not sustainable. 2, personal tragedies hit, and we lost friends. 3, the seasons changed and brought with them a want for something new, and I realized all of that good that we had done over the previous year and a half. And 4, I realized that the idea of being alone at work was a novel one. It was time for alone time for me. Those compiling facts brought me to a decision that it was time for a rest, and it also has brought us to where we sit today in our story. It's time for the second era of my live show. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm afraid of it at the same time. Where will this chapter take us? Only time will tell, but I hope that you are there with me. And you guys, before we move on to our Q&A, I wanted to show you chapter 6. The only little snippet of something special that I have is a letter that one of you guys sent to me after I went on break, because you would think that when someone goes on break from live, they would stop getting mail. And I really didn't, because a whole group of people wrote me just to encourage me. And I wanted to read this letter from Kim as our final note in my story to bring us today. Dear Jess, my name is Kimberly. I'm a silent watcher. I have been horribly depressed lately, and when I watch your lives, you heal me. You and your soul is absolutely beautiful. I hate that you are leaving the live, but I completely understand. Your mental health comes first. I truly hope to see you again on live. I have your songs on my playlist while I clean. Have a beautiful day and enjoy the break that you deserve. Just know you have so many people who love you. Love always, Kimberly. I didn't really have a planned end to that. I'm just going to give you guys a round of applause. You guys, thank you so much for being part of this community with me. I hope that you enjoyed today. I hope that you got to know me. I hope that you guys have some questions for me, because I'm ready for those now. And I hope that you enjoyed it. You are a great writer and even better storyteller. I'm so inspired by your story. I was so hooked all along. Thank you so much. You guys, I was so nervous. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm crying. Casey, don't cry. I want to cry too, you guys. It's very overwhelming to read all of that all at once. Vanessa, thank you so much. Mila, thank you for the applause. We all love you and Chris. You guys, thank you. Catfly Girl, thank you for the heart me. You did amazing. Vanessa, thank you so much. Mary Ellen, thank you for the roses. You guys, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Do you have any questions from the live? And then after question times, you guys, we're going to go through the questions. Oh, thank you. Love you, Jess. Harry, thank you so much, man. Thanks, Jess. What a beautiful way for us to get to know you better. Thank you guys so much. Here's the thing about getting to know somebody better, you guys. It either pushes you away or pulls you closer. It was so fun. Michelle, did you enjoy it? Was I respectful? Oh, I just want to be loving and respectful and open and allow for all viewpoints. That was so interesting. Was it interesting? We are now family. That's right, Greg. What's your Spotify channel? Oh my gosh, the easiest question to start, Lulu. Thank you. I have no idea what our Spotify channel is. The Bubbly Barista, I think. You did awesome. Michelle, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Cindy, thank you for the rose. Margot, thank you for the heart me. Is your fam part of a good church now? Casey, my family all have different relationships with the church, and so I can't answer for everyone. I don't go to church. And you guys, I think that I want to tell you, probably because I know that after reading all of that, you're going to be curious as to where I am in my journey. And you guys, I've spent my whole life praying and being baptized and looking for connection with beings that were bigger than me. And I will tell you that I'm ever seeking connection, and I don't know what's true, and I spend a lot of time looking into the woods and hoping that something looks back or whispers something tiny in my ear. But where I found the most connection is with people. So I want to say that I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I know that I don't know, and I've spent my whole life looking. And I think that the most connection I found is with people. Yeah. I know that doesn't answer your question at all, but hopefully it gives you insight that I know you're all curious too. You are just the most sweetest and kindest human. I just adore you, Jess. Thank you. Thank you. Jubble Bubble, thank you so much. Steph, thank you for the heart me. You guys, is that the only question? That was easy. It's insane the length that haters will go through just to be nasty for no reason. Watching how you deal with the haters in your lives, it's like watching a master class. I do have a lot of practice, you guys. I put my 10,000 hours in now. Hey, babe, would you mind putting music on? I swear I didn't know the yellow book of kindness I sent you was Christian based. Michelle, oh my gosh, Michelle, thank you so much. Can I tell you, after I opened it, because I was openly shocked, and I like to just like prepare my heart and soul so that I can be like grateful and also balanced when I accept things. I didn't feel like I I did that. I felt like I was shocked when I opened it, and I want to say thank you for being gracious. It's a beautiful sentiment, and it's right there. And I appreciate you guys. You're amazing, Jess. Grace, thank you. Was Chris part of the move? No, but he does come from a Christian background. Do you still go see Chris's family? Jen, we were there last year for his mom's memorial. Oh my, hi Jess, hi Braylon. Was Chris the same religion? Yes, Christian, yes. Curious why you guys don't wear your rings usually. Misbehaving. We took them off at one point in our lives, and then we just didn't put them back on. Specifically because we were using a pull-up bar, and then we just got out of the habit, and now I just think they're so fancy. Jess, can you show the alpaca at the window? Yes, Ladina. This was sent by Claudia from Peru. And Claudia also sent little goodies for Michelle and Todd. Adorable, right? So when did you guys open the second shop, Kim, in 2017? Hi, I just came in. Did I miss a lot? If you did, you can rewatch it as soon as I'm done. I'm also going to edit this one, you guys, and I'm going to put the story of my life, probably with some like edits and stuff, up on YouTube. Kristen, thank you for joining the Crewbies. You guys, how you doing over here, you two? I came in on chapter 4. Will this be uploaded to YouTube? Yep, it sure will. We love ours. They're adorable. I know, me too, Michelle. Also, so soft. So soft. Kim, no. Is this a person? Also, Harold, you guys. Okay, you guys, do you have any other questions for me? And if not, I'm going to tell you the answers to all of the Jessica Pop quizzes. I'm curious to see how many you guys got right. And you guys, it took me a really long time to stick all of these post-its. So I hope you stick around just to watch me take them off. I can't wait to watch the rest. I hope you enjoy it, Jess. Jess Ray, thank you for the heart me. Braylon, thank you for the rose. How many cats do you have? 5. My dog is barking at your kitty on the screen. Oh, Michelle, I apologize. You and Chris didn't know that your anniversary was February 3rd? No, you guys. I knew when our wedding anniversary was, but not like our I met you when we started hanging out anniversary. I didn't. Daddy song is my fave. Me too, Greg. Woo! I grew up as a gay preacher's kid in a small rural town. It very much felt, like living in a cult that filled me with so much self-loathing. I can relate with your story so much. I'm sending you so much love, Jordan. Watching your lives always brings a smile to my face. You have such a sweet energy that truly brightens up my day. Sending you warm greetings from Austria. Thank you, Lisa. Will we ever see Chris going live? Chris, can we show them you on live right now? Chris, can you hear me? He has his headphones on and there's lag. Flame Lily, welcome to the Crewbies. Gooser, welcome to the Crewbies. Why didn't you adopt? You know what? Because we decided we were okay, but maybe we will in the future. Who knows? Great direct question. I love that. Jess, you are so amazing. I just love you so much. Jess, thank you so much. Love your life story. Thank you. Okay, are you ready? Are your parents still in? Bramble, here's the deal, is that the move was a accumulation of farms in the area and also other places of the world. And some of those farms are completely shut down, no longer in use. Some of them have been sold to other things. And some of them still have groups of individuals like my grandma living at them. And you will see young families too, but you also see a lot of like our grandparents and stuff still there. So even though us kids will grow up and move away, we do tend to go back to those places. So I mean, it kind of leads you to, is it still... Are our parents still in the cult? I think that cult is a word that I want to use a lot because I think that words have power that we give them. And I think that cult has a really negative connotation. And I want to use it really, really gently because I think technically when you look at the definition of that word, the way that I grew up, it is truly that. And that's why I use that word. But at the same time, there was a lot of like rich and beautiful things about growing up. And when you talk to different people, they might have a different perspective of that situation and feel like it wasn't the definition of a cult. So I don't even know if my parents feel like they were in one. Do you know what I mean? Or if it's just how they grew up. Like we were all just born into a very different way of life and we've grown up and we've grown and we've moved different places. But like those core beliefs, I don't know. That would be a conversation for them. But I do want to be really respectful when I talk about anyone who's still living on those places. And it's a very delicate thing because when you come from this area, a lot of us kids are in this town. So it sounds wild to say you grew up in a cult, but at the same time, all of us kids grew up and went away. So there's a lot of people here who still have families living in those communities. So it's like, no, my parents live in Taylor, which is actually really close to where we are now and where our shop is. But we still have family ties. And so I just want to make sure I'm respectful when I answer questions also. Not that you weren't being respectful. I just have to make sure I am. I hope that answered your question. Do you think that the cult helped to make you the wonderful, insightful person that you are, or that your parents are or were you just born this way? Oh, Tiffany, I think that I am 100% a product of how I was raised, how I grew up, the parents I had, the experiences I had, the experiences I decided to strive for, the learning that drew me in. So I think that absolutely the way I grew up is part of how I am today. I think that you see little pieces of it, especially in like the way that Chris and I live, because we're here on the farm with Robin, my sister, her husband, and their 2 boys. And Kelly, who is the friend that passed away last year, he lived here at this property too. He had his trailer here. And so I think that you see whispers of the way I grew up in a lot of my life views. I do think you see it. And I think community is one of those, for better or for worse. I think there's a lot of bad things that come with living in an organized community, and I think that there's also good things that come. And so it's kind of like weeding those things out of my life and trying to pass on the positive legacies and let the negative ones go, if we can. Mystique, thank you for the heart me. Ladina, thank you for the team cheers. Where do you find your energy from? Kevin, I think I find my energy from seeing that it's reflected back for me. It was like when I was a little bit positive and then I had a positive interaction, I was like, oh, this really does work. And so I just started doing it more and more. And I think that now my positivity is like a badge. It's like I don't put on a uniform. I can wear my pajamas if I want because I'm armed with positivity and service. Jess, it's lagging for everyone. You guys, then we have to finish this quick. Okay, are you ready? Greg, thank you for the tiny diny. It makes me shake my tiny hiney, Greg. You guys, question 1 was from chapter 1. What state did Jessica's grandparents move from? Does anyone know? Can you comment? And then I'm going to tell you. Samantha, thank you for the heart me. Or Sam. Tiffany knows. You too. Anybody? Pennsylvania. You guys were correct. Oh my gosh, you were paying attention. Okay, question 2. Still from chapter 1. What did Jessica buy with her dishwashing dollars? I probably shouldn't answer. Oh my gosh, Michelle. You can answer if you want. It's still going to be fun. Oh, YouTube's on it. A horse. You guys, if you wanted to know, her name was Raja, and she was a pony. She was a quarter horse pony, and she had never been asked to go faster than a trot when I got her. So the first year, she would only trot for me, and the second year, anytime I asked her to gallop, she would buck and try to make me fall off. Okay, question 3. In which city did Jessica meet Chris? Raja. Michelle remembers. Oh, you didn't tell me yet. I got excited. Tokyo. That would have been great, Julia. California. Yeah, but do you know the city? Do you remember? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm going to give TT a second to get it, you two. Something. Yes. Dinuba. Yes. Dinuba, California. Have you guys ever been to Dinuba, California? Oops. Hold on. This one's fighting me. Oh, because it's the only one I put on backwards. Okay, you guys. Question number 4. There's only 13 questions. What item did Chris and Jessica mail back and forth? This is an easy one. I'm from Fresno. Hey, I've been there. Mara, thank you for the heart me. You guys know. A journal. Is it correct? A journal. I didn't anticipate this being hard. Or journals. I also wrote. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Boom! You are correct. My friends, this sheet is done. Shall we break the proverbial board? Question 5. What was the first thing that Jessica was asked to sell? You guys remember? Wasps and the horse nasty all day. I am not a stinging to your tune. I just want to buzz like you. A pen! You guys are correct. Oh my gosh, who else can tell I am now so much more comfortable in my activity? I can tell. A pen! It's so true. I have been waiting to peel these off all day. Woo! 6. How many pounds did Titan weigh when we moved to Canada? You had to do that once too. Oh my gosh, no. Malia, I love that. 2 pounds, yes. Oh, we are looping on TikTok, Jess. You guys, can you see me? Can you see me? Are you looping? Good service? You're good? It's delayed, but you're okay? No, you're not okay? I realize my question was confusing now. I can see you just a little delayed. Okay, you guys, let's keep going. That country internet, you guys. It's still overcast out there. Look at that snow coming down. You guys, for everyone who said 2, you are correct. Okay, you guys, and our final question. What did Jessica hit with her Corolla? Does anyone remember? You guys are good, you two? Okay, good. Very specific, Tiffany. A car park pole! Yes, I did. In fact, my friends, there was a stage of my life where I was the queen of what I called little bumps. I never got into a full-on accident. And I still, to this day, have never been in a collision or, like, gone in the ditch when I was driving. But I would just, like, slowly nudge until I knew I was too close. And then I would, like, think, but maybe I can go a little closer. And I did that with a car park pole, and I did that with a concrete meridian, and those are the only 2 things I can think of right now. Okay, you guys. Another page done. We only have 2 more. Way to freaking go. Break the freaking board, yo. Woo! Okay, question 8. Whose idea was it to start the caffeination station? Bridget, thank you for the heart. Me, Steph, thank you for the fist burst. Hi, Bridget. Hey, you guys remembered. My dad. That's exactly right, you guys. It was kind of a trick question because I called him, but it was his idea. You guys are exactly correct. It was Daddy Deuce or Daddy Doug, if you know. Question 9. Chris says that we are blank blank of the same blank. My friends, can you fill in those blanks for me? Only PG answers, preferably the right one. Malia. 2 halves of the same brain. If you said 2 halves of the same brain, you are exactly correct, my friends. And question 10. Him. What year did we decide to invest in our own development? Did you guess? Oh no, 2022. Then you guessed correctly. And you guys, that's another page done. 1 more page of questions, and then we will see. Oh my God. Oh. I don't know how that happened. That's hilarious to me. I didn't do that. Okay, you guys, and our final page of questions. Are you ready for this? Number 11. In which state did the first live barista that I ever watched live? And bonus points if you guys can tell me the name of that barista. If you've been here for a while. She doesn't live stream anymore. Oregon. Oregon is correct. Do you guys remember what her name was? I moved to YouTube because it was lagging too bad. Okay, good. No, not Caitlin. Caitlin's in Toronto. Not Caitlin. Any other guesses before I tell you? Does anyone get my bonus point? Ooh, will anyone get it? I thought for sure somebody would. I love that. Nope, not Kate. Not Jerica. Not Annie. So close. Not Patricia. Oh my gosh. No, Anna still live streams. Her name was Sydney. Her name was Sydney, and she was from Cowgirl Barista out of Oregon. But she doesn't live stream anymore. Or, well, maybe she does now. I don't know. Okay, you guys, and now question 12. What was the name of the viewer that I mentioned in my story? Dad would know. Yeah, he really would, Michelle. 100%. I should have told him. I didn't make sure he knew I was live today. Shoot. Ivy, thank you for the heart me. Kate. That's exactly right, you guys. Kate. But everyone who said Kim, the reason you're saying Kim is because I read Kim's letter. But I mentioned Kate. You guys are exactly right. And our final question. You guys, for anyone who's interested, I have 3 bonus questions that I didn't put on Instagram. So those of you who had the cards, I have 3 more pop quiz. True pop quiz questions, not open book, if you want. But this one you guys could see before. What 2 items did we have trouble keeping in stock in our shop? You know. Everyone who said Red Bull and ice is in fact correct, my friends. And with that, oops, I should maybe not lose my wedding ring. Where's that little cup that, oh, here. A cup it goes in. And with that, you guys, we have done my life story live. I really thank you guys so much for being here today. I hope that you feel like it was enjoyable and it was worth your time most of all. And I have 3 bonus questions. Would you guys like to play them? Leslie, welcome to the Crewbies. You guys, to all of our new Crewbies today, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. I truly appreciate, yes, thank you. Each and every one of you for being here, for watching. We should do it. Your live streams always make my day. Thank you. I loved it, and I thank you for sharing. I thank you. Jenny, thank you for the heart me. Vanessa, thank you for the heart me. You loved Greg? Love you, friend. Casey, thank you so much. Jess, thank you for the heart me. Give us the question. Okay. Here you go. First question. Were you guys paying attention? Were you? I will be the judge. What was our Chihuahua's name? Do you remember? Late Elier, Chantel, thank you for the rose. Teresa, thank you for the heart me. No more tubes, no more lines. Titan. You guys did know. Yep, 100% Titan. Okay. Our next question. Are you ready? What was the motorized vehicle that we could hear during our wedding vows? Paul Blart Mall? Nope. I said you were lacking sugar and creamer. I was, in fact, distracted. You cracked me up. Ah. You guys know. You too, did you guys know? A boat. You guys, it's so true. I want to tell you that I was going to have Chris and I read our wedding vows, and I was going to put the sound of a boat in the background, but then we had to use my phone, so I didn't have the boat sound, so I thought I would just read it to you. But I want you to know that was my original thought, and I thought it would have been genius. Okay, you guys, and our final one. Okay, let's see if you guys know. What activity did I describe as being the scariest and most foreign activity to date? Do you remember? Chris says he remembers. Benny, thank you for the Festburst, Benny. Nope, not TT. Not TT. You know. Nope, not getting on live. Even scarier than getting on live, you guys. Driving on the freeway. You guys, a couple of you did know that. That's exactly right. Driving on the freeway. Oh my gosh. The first time I had to do that, you guys, my whole heart. Oh, Samantha, thank you for the rose. And the tiny diny. It makes me shake my tiny hiney. All right, you guys. And that is going to do it for this home live. Thank you so much for coming for the story of my life today. I hope that everybody had a really great time. I'm going to let you guys all go, and I am going to go continue on my Sunday now. If you missed this live, you guys, don't worry about it, because the replay is going to be on YouTube, and you can listen. And I'm also going to edit this one, so I'm going to upload it as a little bit of a video. I just think it's the first time you've gotten to know me, and it feels like it should have a little bit of a special place. You guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for being so open and sharing. Thank you guys for being so open and listening. I got the big guy to say thank you too.
Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Welcome to Sunday. Hope you all have a good rest of your day.
You guys, hit that follow button if you haven't already. Sorry, babe. If you haven't already, y'all, because we are the Caffeination Station. My name is Jessica, and I am your host for this live show. And I'm going to be back with you guys on Wednesday at 6 a.m. Great day, sis. Now we shovel. Now we shovel to the snow warriors. You guys, thumbs up if, oh, song time. Should we do our song, you guys? Should we do our song to close out today? We can do it. Give me a moment. Uno momento, por favor. DJ, would you mind finding Station Nation on this playlist? You guys, let me just pick up my papers so that I don't fall. Yes, we shall. Let's do it. I'm here for it, you guys. It feels like Sunday for sure. Oh, look at that snow out there. I have to tell you, you guys, can you see the chair out there? Oh, you guys can't see. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see both sleeping cats, but also how I'm measuring the snow this year. Okay. There you go. Harold, Cole, that chair. Look at that. Look how much snow that is, you guys. I feel like it's a beautiful view of how much we've gotten this year. Here, so you can see, my friends. Look at that. That chair is my snow measurement. A beautiful view. I know. Isn't that a lot? I know. I know. So much. Okay, you ready for us, big guy? I'm just waiting for my DJ to alert me that we are ready. That's a lot of snow, I know. Okay, thank you for the heartbeat. I like that cat tree. It was made locally. And to keep it, Kim says. Kim, you guys still don't have any on the East Coast, huh? It's your song! Michelle, it's almost our song. Okay, you guys. Benny, welcome to the Crewbies. Crewbies, help me welcome our newbie Crewbie. You guys, I'm going to open up the chat for everybody for while we sing. Here we go. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, chat is open. You guys in the background, thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you. Chris, can I easily do that to you too? Or do you have to do it for me? No, I can do it.
What are you talking about?
I can change the chat, right? For our song?
For
live chat, all messages are visible.
On YouTube. You're good.
I'm good?
Yes, you don't need anything there.
Nice. Okay, you guys.
Hold on.
Oh, hold on.
It's taking forever.
I can be patient. I'll just sit here and sip my water. You guys, thank you for sharing. You guys, thank you. You loved it. Thank you for sharing your story. You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. You're welcome. Thank you for being here with us, you guys. You're welcome. Ray, thank you for the roses. You're out of sync. I know, Eric. I'm so sorry. Shoddy, thank you so much, Shoddy. Thank you for sharing your story. I love seeing your positivity. Thank you. You guys. Him. Without further ado, my friends, it's time for me to sing to you. It's your song. It is my song. It's, what is it? Not gonna sing the blues no matter what ensues. Rain or shine, I'll build you up. We've got the fuel to get things started. Hello, my friend. Get up, let's rule the day. Let's start this quest, 'cause life's an adventure. Woo! We're the Station Nation. Got atomic joy. Here to spread it like a mushroom cloud. We're the Station Nation. Got atomic joy. We're the Station Nation. We're the Station Nation. Through the pain brought by clouds in a turbulent sky, I know you're by my side. Resistant to the changing tides and seasons. Stack 'em high and let 'em fly. Each day with the dawn until it inspires you. As the morning sun rises, let's swing the window open. Let them hear the day is here, my dears. Keep on smiling. We're the Station Nation. Got atomic joy. Here to spread it like a mushroom cloud. We're the Station Nation. Got atomic joy. We're the Station Nation. We're the Station Nation. Through the pain brought by clouds in a turbulent sky, I know you're by my side. Resistant to the changing tides and seasons. To love is the greatest piece of wonderful. Hi, Harold. To love is the greatest piece of wonderful. Are you ready? Nailed it. We're the Station Nation. Got atomic joy. Here to spread it like a mushroom cloud. We're the Station Nation. Got atomic joy. We're the Station Nation. We're the station nation, through the pain brought by clouds. In a turbulent sky, you know I'm by your side. Resistant to the changing tides and seasons. Cheers! Fist bumps! Fist bumps! Harold, come here. Oh, I was gonna get Harold, but then he went higher instead of lower. Harold, can you come back here? Can you come here? Can you come say goodbye to everyone? Come here, Harold. Come here, Harold. Come on, Harold. I've been rejected. You guys, thank you so much for spending another day of live with me. Hit that follow button if you haven't already, and I'm going to see you guys all on Wednesday at 6 a.m. Bye, you guys. Goodbye. I'm still being rejected. Goodbye. Goodbye, TT first. Goodbye, you two. See you soon.